So I'll start by lying on your mat, lying face up. And as you lie here, we're going to explore what position your back is in and how does it feel when you just lie here. Through your back, through this area. What position your legs are in. And so we're going to gently roll the toes and knees to the same side. Rolling over to one side. They might not move very far before the whole pelvis and lower legs want to move. Then we're going to roll the toes and knee over to the other side. And then back. We're going to do 2 more each direction for a total of 3. So we're just rolling them across, back to the middle, roll to the other side. Seeing how does this feel into your back, into your hips. We're going to do 1 more each direction. Back to the middle, and then back across. Back out, and back to that second side. Do you feel a lot of sensations into your hips? Do you feel sensations across your knees, maybe into your feet? And relax, we're going to bring both toes and knees pointing mostly directly up, which for some people might be this internal hip rotation. And so, but we do want to think about, like at the kneecaps, we want to try to have them pointing directly up to the ceiling. What we're going to do here is you're going to arch your back up as high as you can, creating space, keeping your glutes on the table or on the floor. You're creating space, then you're going to relax, and then you're going to actively squeeze your abs, trying to push your mid back and lower back into the floor, flattening it. And you can see my chin kind of extending, and I want to try to keep my chin tucked. And then I'm going to relax. That takes you back to neutral. Then you're going to extend, arching the back, still trying to keep the chin tucked. Try not to let that head extend. You're reaching your rib cage up to the ceiling, keeping your glutes down. I felt like more pressure was pushing through one side in my glutes. And then relax. And then I'm going to flatten down. Again, trying to keep your feet neutral and legs neutral. And relax. We're going to do 1 more. You're going to arch up. Again, not forcing it into positions that are painful. If you get cramping, try not to move as far. Then relax. And then we're going to flatten down. As you flatten, try to keep that chin tucked. Try to smash that back down. Roll your hips up. And relax. Now we're going to go back to the legs. We're going to let them roll out separately. Knees pointing out, toes pointing out. Then we're going to roll together. The toes crossing over or pointing towards each other. Kneecaps pointing in. Relax. Rotate back out, and rotate it back in. Back out, rotate, back up and in, and across. So just nice gentle hip motions. And relax. Alright, you're going to bring your feet flat, knees bent. You're going to take one leg, 1 foot up off the floor. You're going to keep the same space between the thighs, not allowing the thighs to move any closer. We're going to take that foot and lower leg across to the opposite side of the body. Shoulder, foot going towards this opposite shoulder. You're going to bring that back. Take that foot and lower leg out to the outside. Again, the leg that you have lifted, you might feel like there's more pressure, or even where the foot is going, you might create more pressure into your low back. We're holding it across. Back. Rotate the foot and lower leg out. Again, trying to avoid any sharp or painful points. I started to cramp, so I move out of it. Then I'm going to move back all the way across. Back to neutral. Foot and lower leg out. And down. Okay, we're going to bring this other leg up, again keeping that same distance between the thighs. Rotate the foot and lower leg across. Holding it here nice and steady. Then back to neutral. Take that foot and lower leg out. As long as it's not painful, you don't get any cramping. I can't do as much before it starts to want to cramp. Then we take it back to neutral. Foot and lower leg across. 2 more in each position. Take that foot to neutral, then out to the side, which is hip internal rotation. It shifts the tension to this top outer part of the leg. Back to neutral. Foot and lower leg across 1 more time each position. Back to neutral. Take that foot and lower leg out. And relax. Okay, bring that leg down. You're keeping your legs bent, feet flat. We want to keep your back in that relative neutral spine. We're going to take your fingertips to the ceiling. Arms extended, fingertips pointing up. We're going to let your arms go up overhead. But here we're avoiding allowing your back to arch. So we want to maintain this neutral spine. You're taking your arms back as far as you can before they get tight or your back wants to arch anymore. You pause and then right back up to the top. Nice, slow control. Go to where it gets tight, pause, back up. Breathe in as you go back up. Breathe in as you lower. To wherever it gets tight, try not to let your back arch anymore. Then exhale as you bring those fingertips back up. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. 1 more, inhale. Exhale as you bring it back up. All right, now we're going to take 1 arm down, 1 arm up. Get a nice little, and we're just going to go nice, smooth transition. Still paying attention to the arm going up overhead. Just nice, smooth transition. Breathing nice and tempoed breath, not holding it. And relax. All right, so now you're going to take 1 leg, you're going to straighten it out. The other leg's going to stay flat, keep it in neutral spine. You're going to lift 1 leg up, bring it about even with the thigh, as long as your back doesn't start to flatten. So here we're choosing to stop near the thigh. And I could go up a little bit higher. As I visually looked, I saw my leg that was out straight was a little bit lower. And this is a little bit more of a challenge and a stretch. And then lower. We're going to stay with the same leg. You're going to let the toes and knee rotate outward. You're going to keep the foot pointing out, and you're going to lift that inside heel and knee to the ceiling. And the leg is relatively straight. We didn't take it out to the side of the mat. We just got the toes and knee rotated out. Trying to keep this leg that is bent. Try to avoid allowing it to flare out to the side. Keep that knee straight. It's easy to allow that knee to start bending. Lower the leg. Bring that leg back in. We're going to switch to the other side. Straighten the other leg. We're going to lift, keeping that small space in your back. Trying to get that thigh even with the other side as long as you keep that knee straight. Keep holding it. And then down. Once that leg is down, you're going to let the toes and knee rotate outward. We're going to lift the inside heel and knee, keeping the knee straight. We'll lift it up to the ceiling. This side is a little tighter, a little harder to lift. Trying to keep that knee straight, even though the toes and knee are rotated out. Try not to let that knee bend. And down. All right, we're going to turn over. We're going to move to down position. And so here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a 4-point stance where we're on your hands and knees. And we're going to push up into a down dog. All right? So if you want, you can even just go to push-up position. Otherwise, go ahead and make it more of a shoulder exercise where you push up through your hands. Otherwise, we're coming back down and then lower your knees. So again, you extend your knees and then push back through your hands. Otherwise, you can just stay here in this push-up position, come back down, lower, back to this tabletop. Here we go. Once again, extend your knees, push back through your hands, or stay in that push-up position. Trying to push your heels closer to the floor, push through the arms, get the hips high, and then back and lower the knees to the floor. All right, what we're going to do here on your hands and knees, we're going to walk this hand to the more of the middle, and now we're going to turn and reach the hand up to the ceiling. The hand that's reaching to the ceiling, you're going to try and push through the hand that's on the floor, the hand towards the ceiling. You're turning your head towards it. This is a bit more of a stretch, so you can hold it when it gets a little bit tighter. When we do a little bit more integrated, we're going to come down. We're going to switch those hands across. We're going to reach this opposite hand up. Turn towards the hand that's going towards the ceiling, the hand that's on the floor. Push through the hand that's on the floor. Again, pushing for a little bit more of a stretch with this exercise. Still trying to breathe. Don't go so far that you can't breathe. We're going to come out of that. We're now going to go with the first arm that we went across. So I lifted this right hand first. Now I'm going to keep the right hand on the floor, but I'm going to reach my left hand underneath. So I'm still turning to my right, and now I'm following my left hand going up and under this right arm. Still turning a little bit. Come back out. I'm going to switch, and then I'm going to reach my right hand underneath my left, turning over my left shoulder, following that hand that reaches through. Rotate back out. All right, from here, we're going to do a little kickback extension. So you're going to slide your foot back, keep the toes on the floor. We're going to lift that foot up high to the sky. Keep your knee straight. And then down, we're going to switch to the other side. Slide that foot back, extend the leg, lift your foot. Back down. We're back to this first side. Extend the leg first. See if your knee is okay being in that position, then lift the leg. It's not a huge leg lift. The toes are just off the floor. Some people might be able to go a little bit higher, but that's about as far as I can go before my back needs to extend or I have to rotate. We're going to switch. Again, extend the knee, straightening it to the toes, and then lift the leg high. Pushing through your hands, it's easy to start sinking. Still make it an upper body exercise. Bring that leg down. All right, we're going to move to side lying. So, with the side lying motion, again, we always want to be aware of where your arm is at. The more overhead, the more strenuous it is on your shoulder than if it's out in front. Midway for me today is what I'm going to aim for. We're going to take your top leg. We're going to bring the foot flat to the floor. And as we do that, we have to actively keep your hip open. We're trying to keep the knee away from the floor, pointing up towards the ceiling. That in itself is an exercise for this top leg. Those muscles and keeping your active motion into your hip. And then relax. And again, rotate out and hold. And relax. Let that knee fall back down. And we're going to do that once again, lift up. Now while holding that knee up, we're going to lift the bottom leg towards the ceiling, up off the floor. Trying to keep that top knee, mine wanted to start dropping down. And then lower the bottom leg, relax the top leg. We're going to go back into position. Keep that knee rotated up and out. Lift that bottom leg. Is your body okay? My hip is a lot more sensitive today on the one that's on the floor, and relax. Relax the top leg. We're going to do one more. Open that hip, lift the bottom leg, and down, and relax. All right, we'll have you roll over. We'll do the other side. Again, being careful in your setup. So here we want to make sure where this hand and arm are located. Bring your top leg foot flat. We're going to practice 3 times, just taking that knee up and out, seeing how it feels through your hip and pelvis. Like this side, I almost feel through my low back. And then relax that knee back down. When the knee comes down, you almost go on the inside edge of the foot. And then as you roll that hip up and out, that knee up and out, you're going more trying to flatten the foot to the outer edge of the foot. And then relax. Open back up. Back down. Lift, and now we're lifting the bottom leg, and I could tell my bottom leg was a little bit more forward, so I got it back aligned with the other hip. We're lifting the bottom leg up, then lower that leg, relax the top leg. Get that top leg back into position. We're going to lift the bottom leg up. And relax. One more. Rotate and lift the bottom leg. And relax. All right, so we're going to stay on the same side. We're going to take the top leg. You can have the bottom leg bent slightly, or you can have it out straight. I'm going to choose to have mine slightly bent. We're going to take the top leg and extend it out. And so if your leg is slightly bent, the leg that's extended on top is going to be behind the heel. So I've got my shin just tapping the heel a little bit or getting close to it. I'm going to keep the top leg straight. I'm going to lift that leg up. We're going to hold this nice and steady. Again, feeling how does it make you feel throughout your rib cage? Are you aware of what's going on in your rib cage? And down. We're going to do the same thing once again. We're going to lift that leg. Keeping that leg lifted, we're going to let it rotate up and out. Toes lifting towards the ceiling now. Bring the toes back to neutral. Toes in. Back to neutral. We're going to rotate out. Back to neutral and rotate in. One more each position. Toes and knee up. Toes and knee forward, and then toes and knee down. And relax. Okay, we'll switch to the other side. And in your setup, being careful where you place your arm and head. So we bend that leg if you want, otherwise you can have it out straight. If it is bent, we want to make sure the leg, top leg shin is behind that heel of the foot. We're going to lift the top leg. We're going to hold it here nice and steady. Trying to prevent any movement. And then we're going to lower that leg, relaxing. Now we're going to lift, and we're going to do toes and knee rotating up, trying to avoid allowing your body to roll back. Back to neutral, toes and knee in. Back to neutral, toes and knee up and out. Back to neutral. Rotate down and in. One more each position. After you go back to neutral, toes and knee up and out. Back to neutral and rotate in. And relax. All right, we're going to move to lying on your back. Feet are flat. Knees are bent. We're going to lift up and we're going to lean to the left side or right side. You're just going to bring your head and shoulder down there. You're going to come back to the middle, lie back down. We're going to lift up and go to the other side. That's one side easier to go to, and back down. So we're lifting, we side bend, move back, and lower. Lift, side bend, back to the middle, and lower. We're going to do one more each side. Lift, side bend, lower. Lift, side bend, lower. All right, so now we're going to lie face down. All right, and we're going to take one hand out to the side, palm down. We're going to lift the arm up, and once the hand is lifted, we're going to extend the elbow, taking the hand out to the side, then bend the elbow, hand back down. So we lift, keep the hand lifted, arm lifted, extend out to a T, bring that hand back up to 90, and lower. We lift, extend, bend, and down. We're going to do one more. Lift, extend, bend, and relax. All right, we'll do the other side. So again, forehead is on the back of the hand, elbows out 90, out to the side, we lift, extend the elbow, so now you're in a one-sided T position, bend the elbow, and relax. Lift, extend, flex, bend the elbow, and down. Lift, keep that hand and arm elevated, extend the elbow, reaching the hand out, tightening at the back of the arm, back, bending the elbow, and down. We'll do one more. Lift the hand and arm, extend out, and down. Alright, you're going to bring both hands underneath your forehead. Keeping that chin tucked. We want to avoid allowing your chin to lift up. We're keeping the chin tucked. We're going to extend your head. Keeping your chin down like you're looking at your waistband of your pants. And then relax. You're going to slightly turn your head to one direction. You're going to lift your head up a little bit, but again, try to avoid extending your ear, just lifting your head as if it's an elevator. It's a very small movement. Back down, we're going to rotate to the other side. Keeping the shoulders down, they like to elevate. We're going to lift up just a little bit. Very small movement. I barely lift my head up off my hands. Back down, back to neutral, chin down. Going to lift up and hold. And relax. All right, we're going to move to back, lying on your back, face up. We're going to return back to how we started. Just lying here. We're going to allow your legs to naturally lay out to the side. We're going to explore how your low back feels. Do you feel like you have pressure into one glute or hip more than another when you're just lying on your back? We're going to bring your palms down. You're going to walk those fingertips towards your feet, shoulders back. Chin is kind of tucked. And then you just want to allow the floor to fully support you as you scan your body from the tips of your toes to the bottom of your feet, up the back of the leg and the front of your shins into the knees, the back of your hamstrings, the front of your thighs and hips, right across the pelvis. Is there any areas into your low back or your rib cage, shoulders, elbows or wrists, neck and shoulders as you get closer to your right across the neck area? Do you have areas that are a little bit tighter, more dullness to them? So really start to scan, become aware of your body, how you felt throughout the weekend, today being Monday, as you got moving, were you surprised at places that had more sensation or that you maybe had more trouble moving? I know I found a few spaces and spots that I was a little surprised with today. And so we can start to use movement for you to have better awareness and control. And that's what we're doing with our flow workout. Excellent job today. If you want, you can stay here and finish out the morning by doing another 5 minutes or so of the Shavasana, the lying face up, just totally relaxing Again, respecting what your body's communicating to you into your low back and into your hips. You can make minor adjustments. If that gets painful, you can bring your feet together, knees out. For some people, this is more comfortable. For others, this is more strenuous. So just knowing that you have some options. Again, you can legs out, and I've got them about hip width, maybe slightly more, and naturally they just rotate out. And I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just trying to allow the body to go where it naturally goes. Starting to bring a little bit more awareness into your breath. What position is your jaw in? I start noticing that my bottom jaw goes behind the top, so I've been working on trying to bring the bottom jaw even with my teeth. But I'm not trying to clench them, I just want them nearby. Naturally my top floats in front of the bottom, and so then I start having to use some of my neck and facial muscles a little bit more to maintain a better alignment. And then even how that changes sensations into the shoulders and upper back and neck area. So you can like realign, get control, tighten up a little bit, and then gently try to relax without losing too much of that position that you just realigned yourself into. Excellent job today. Again, you can stay there if you want.